There's some brand new research that was just conducted under the direction of Dr. Kurt Krager at Colorado State University that compared TRACOM's versatility measure to two separate measures of emotional intelligence, and in both cases they found a significant relationship between versatility and EQ. Dr. Krager is a leading expert in the field of training evaluation, and he's also the current president of the Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology. What he did is look at the relationship between versatility and two measures. One is called the Trait Emotional Intelligence Questionnaire, and this is actually a somewhat unique measure of emotional intelligence in that it's one of the few that is a multi-rater instrument. And the other instrument they looked at is called the Self-Report Emotional Intelligence Questionnaire, and this is obviously just a self-report of skill. What they found were high relationships between both of those and our own versatility measure. The correlation between versatility and the trait EQ measure was 0.88, and the correlation with the self-report EQ instrument was 0.78. Colorado State researchers also found consistency between the versatility and the EQ instruments in terms of the top and bottom performers. For example, 79% of the people who scored low on versatility also scored low on the trait EQ measure, and 88% of people who scored high on versatility also scored high on that same measure. The highest a correlation can be is 1.0, and this would mean that there's a perfect relationship between two separate measures. So let me put these correlations into context by giving you some other examples of correlations. So you take antihistamines to reduce your runny nose and to stop sneezing, but the correlation between taking an antihistamine and actually having a reduced runny nose and sneezing is only 0.11. But that doesn't mean that antihistamines don't work. You still take them and they work. But that correlation seems pretty low, so it's far from perfect. Similarly, you're all familiar with employee interviews. You use these to select people in the jobs. But the correlation between an employment interview and success on the job is only 0.20. Yet everybody still uses employee interviews to select people in the jobs. There are some things that we would take for granted that should be highly related to one another, such as weight and height. So the taller a person is, the more they should weigh. And in fact, the correlation between weight and height is 0.44. Similarly, you would think that the closer you are to the equator on Earth, the higher the average daily temperature would be. And in fact, the correlation between nearness to the equator and daily temperature is 0.60. So as you can see, having correlations between versatility and two measures of emotional intelligence that are both above 0.70, this is a very strong relationship between these measures. The main takeaway from this research is that by working on versatility and awareness of social style and how different people respond to behavior, you can also increase your EQ.
Thank you, Casey. The findings of this Colorado State University research will be sent to all participants in today's webinar. We'll also send information from other research studies. We've done a number of studies that have looked at people who have gone through social style and versatility training, thus improving their EQ skills, and what they say about how it affected their job performance. For example, we looked at people that are considered individual contributors or a general audience. They told us they improved their performance in a number of areas, including 88% said that they were more effective when working with others. 74% said applying social style and versatility skills would improve conflict in the workplace. And when looking at managers, 73% said that applying social style and versatility skills would improve conflict in workplace situations. 76% of managers said that applying social style and versatility would improve workplace performance. And 76% also said it would improve workplace morale. We also looked at salespeople, and a large majority of salespeople felt that social style training helped them establish better relationships and gain trust with customers and prospects. 92% of salespeople said they have developed more positive relationships with customers as a result of social style and versatility skills. And 87% believe that their customers now have a greater sense of confidence and trust in them. And finally, 58% of sales professionals said they have closed sales that they otherwise might not have closed. So that's research that looks at the impact of social style and versatility training in a variety of audiences. Let me give you a couple of examples of how companies have integrated emotional intelligence training and behavioral style training to make a difference in their workplace. Starwood Hotels is one of the world's largest hotel companies. They operate more than 900 hotels in more than 90 countries and have more than 150,000 employee associates. Starwood has integrated an emotional intelligence and social style training program over the last 5 years, training more than 100,000 associates. Their goal is to increase the overall customer experience. What Starwood has created is a program to build a service culture inside of their organization. The emphasis of the program was teaching both emotional intelligence skills and social styles and the ability to use them together. The emotional intelligence skills give them the ability to understand the environment and what's going on. And as we discussed earlier, the social style skills give them the ability to modify how they display their emotional intelligence uniquely to the situation and the preferences of each individual customer. As a result of this program, rather than relying on scripts that they provided to employees in the past for situations, they now have built employees who have the ability to effectively assess the situation and make thoughtful decisions about how to resolve it to the satisfaction of the customer. And as the VP of Talent Management at Starwood says, it's improved their overall customer satisfaction. And based on the results Starwood has seen from this program, they've rolled this out to more than 100,000 employees worldwide. I was recently talking with Rob Vaverka, who is an executive-level coach and who studied at Case Western University with emotional intelligence expert Richard Boisadas. He has found that teaching executives emotional intelligence skills and social style skills make them more effective leaders. He believes that the concepts of social style, versatility, and emotional intelligence are more powerful and more impactful when they're used together.
We've covered a lot of research today, a lot of it just at the highlight level. If you're interested in finding more detailed information about some of this research, one resource is the Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations. This is a leading group that studies emotional intelligence and its impact in the workplace. They've published a lot of articles on the subject, including detailed white papers with best practices for improving emotional intelligence.